Looking up in the skies of Dehradun, we saw three Mi-17s flying past. 11th of December was the day for the IMA passing out parade, and CDS General Bipin Rawat was scheduled to be here. General Bipin Rawat was always on top of our list as a guest on this Being Cambronite show, which was also a popular demand amongst Cambronite. Unfortunately, this can never happen now, and we do regret it. It will now be an unfulfilled wish. Today, this special episode is our own tribute to General Bipin Rawat, and what better way than to speak to some of the Cambronite who knew him up close and in person and knew General Rawat in various stages of his life. Sir Ajay Bhagat, you spent time with General Rawat in Cambron Hall, especially in the boarding days. Tell us what you remember, sir, about those days and spending time with General Rawat.
Bipin and I were boarders during the years 1970 and 71 at Cambron Hall. He was generally a very quiet and calm person, always found with a smile on his face, never had a bad word for anybody. He, coming from a background of the army, was quite disciplined in his own way and participated in all our events, sports, had a lot of josh. His younger brother, sister were also there in school with us. He was very protective towards them. And after leaving in 71, after completing 71, he went off to Shimla to complete his schooling. Thereafter joined the NDA, where we caught up with him again. I was in the neighboring squadron. He was in Charlie squadron with Kapil Chand. I was in Bravo. My last meeting with him was in the year 1996 here at Binaguri, when he was posted here. I had gone to meet him with another very dear school friend who's no more, unfortunately, late Mamik, Daljit Singh Mamik. We'd called on him, spent a lovely afternoon with him that time. Haven't been in touch with him thereafter, besides a short phone call in between. I needed some help in Bombay, and he very, very promptly responded and helped me out.
Brigadier Chand, sir, you were General Rawat's companion, not just during the Cambron Hall days, but also during the NDA days. Sir, please share with us something about those days that you spent together and how was it like? Also, the initial grill days being in the forces. They say the bonding wins at that time is almost at a different level, sir. And also, just the last, when did you meet General Rawat last? When was your last meeting with him?
Oh, I met Bipin in Cambron Hall, I think 69. He was there with us in 7th, 8th, 9th class. Ajay Bhagat was also in the same class. Ajay has more knowledge because he was in the boarding. Bipin was friendly, social, and a quiet guy, active physically, a lot of sports, though he was short in height. And later on, in India, he really shot up. He was the shortest chap in school. In the school pictures that you can see, he was the shortest chap. And now in India, he really shot. 5'10", 5'11" he became. So school days was, and academically he was average. In NDA, we were in different squadrons, and then I shifted squadrons from Lima squadron to Charlie squadron. There, Bipin and I grew close. I met him in Charlie squadron when he was running around in double dangris trying to lose weight. He was a boxer, which he wasn't so in Cambron Hall, apart from Shakti. So he was a very good boxer there, and trying to lose weight was one of his things. And I still remember vividly, he said, यार भाग भाग के थक गया हूँ, क्लास में सोता हूँ, आंखें खोल के सोता हूँ. He would sleep in class with eyes wide open in the front bench, especially during these stressful days of boxing and other sports. He had mastered this art. Then, of course, he was very helpful, and he worked very, very hard, diligently. Later on, when he got commissioned into 511 GR, and I went into artillery, and we were posted in Joshimath in 9 Brigade, Joshimath and Harsil. There we caught up and really caught up in the field, in exercises, in firing, and in the bar, of course. Long association there, nearly 2 years. Very friendly, very outgoing. I still remember one very interesting event. He had come with a 1-ton to Joshimath, and his driver, what he did was he parked the 1-ton and he forgot to put the gear, the handbrake on, and the 1-ton rolled down. And the driver, instead of stopping the 1-ton, he let the 1-ton overturn over the neighboring building. So there's this 1-ton lying turtle on top of a tin shelter. It was quite an amazing sight. And Bipin and I were laughing our heads off there. Of course, recovery was a bit tricky. We had to recover it quickly. But those days, these things could happen, and we recovered fast. We had a recovery vehicle, so we recovered it very quickly. So that was the fun part of it. And this association continued. I met him a number of times. Then I met him, when as he grew senior, he did his qualifications. Very intense, very focused, hardworking. And one thing that he had in corps spirit, that is his friendliness towards his corpsmates. That was always there, always a helping hand. I met him when he was the corps commander, army commander, vice chief, then chief. And finally, I met him last in January when he was the CDS. I would take an appointment from his staff. He would message me back, he come at so and so time. Busy schedule, but he would give time, take time out. Very friendly, he'll be fondly remembered. And he will be missed. He was the best of our course.
General Shakti, though you were senior to General Rawat at school, and of course professionally as well, did you get a chance to work together in the same formation or happen to cross paths, sir, being coming from the same olive green family?
Yeah, Sachin, like you were saying, see, I don't really remember him in school. I don't really remember him in NDA. The reason is partly because he was in a different battalion. Like Kapil just said, he was in Charlie Squadron, and I was in Foxtrot. And in any case, him being roughly 3.5 years junior to me, when he joined, probably I would have passed out from NDA.
That's right.
Yeah, because it's 3 years, so that if he's 3.5, if he's December 78 and I'm June 75, so obviously I would have left NDA when he joined it, and so I obviously wouldn't have met him there. Yes, during our service, certainly during the younger years, I didn't really meet him, but as we got a little older, as we got a little senior, I did bang into him a number of times. And he was in the MS branch like I was. He was the Colonel MS9, which deals with policy. So, that takes care of his knowledge about, trying to restructure the armed forces and trying to restructure the army. Why? Because he had all the policy issues in his mind from his experience in MS branch. And otherwise, I met him before he. I met him, when he was commanding the division in Baramulla. I had gone to see my brigade, which I commanded as a part of the Baramulla division. That is in a place called Tutmari Gali, TMG, 17 Brigade. So I had gone to look up my brigade on a. I was commanding a different corps. I was commanding a corps in the east. So and being the colonel of the regiment of the Grenadiers, I had gone to the valley, and there I took a chance and I visited 17 Brigade, which was under Bipin. And so when I went to the brigade headquarters, Bipin and his wife both were there to receive us, because I was there with my wife. And then we had lunch together in the brigade mess, and then while leaving, he presented me the division tie, I remember, and then we set off. We set course for Srinagar, where we were spending the night, and so that's how I met him, and from there, I think from Baramulla, I think he went to the College of Combat, the Army War College, as the commander of the JC wing. And then I met him once again after that, and see, when I was leaving the army in October 14, that's the time that Bipin was just picking up his 3-star rank, So that's the kind of difference we had in our service. But yes, see, what I would like to say is, what Bipin did for the army is something that very few people would be able to do. The fact that he was a CDS. I've had a tenure in the headquarter integrated defense staff, that is the headquarter IDS in Delhi, in the early, that is from somewhere around 2005, 2006. I was there as a brigadier, and I was the secretary chiefs of staff committee also. So I was the guy responsible for conducting all the meetings between the 3 chiefs and recording the minutes and things like that. So I was privy to all the discussions between the 3 chiefs. And what I can tell you is the kind of turf war that used to go on, between the 3 chiefs about wanting to have a CDS, because the Kargil Review Committee report, which was headed by Dr. Subramaniam, was already out after the Kargil. It came out in 2001. And that was what had recommended having a CDS, that is a singular point of advice to the government. And despite that, it was the CDS appointment was being opposed to by the 3 services, because primarily because of losing turf, and so it was carrying on right from 2004, 2005. It carried on, became a little hotter in between. When we heard rumors of a CDS coming in, then once again it died down. And when it did come in 2019, it was a very strong decision taken by the government, and I think the present government is the one that has taken all the strong decisions so far. I'm not trying to get political, but and it fell right into his lap. He was that time Army Chief, and he was all set to retire from service, and it came right his way. And I thought, with his kind of service, with the manner in which he had experience of all types of terrain, of all types of areas in India and abroad, I thought he was the best choice to become the CDS. And then once he took over as the CDS, we all know the manner in which he progressed, in the manner in which he set about, sort of creating the theatre commands. Now, theatre commands would be Greek to you guys, who are not in, who are not there in the army, on the defense services. But theatre command concept is basically, bringing in that synergy that is required between the 3 services, so that there is no, fight over assets and all when during times of emergency. And so he brought them. He almost brought all 3 services under one flag. And in fact, we were all set to see the first theatre command, or rather joint command, coming up next year in the form of the Air Defense Command. And the credit, of course, goes to Bipin for doing all the paperwork, for doing all the processes, for doing all the procedures. So yes, he is the architect of theatre command in India. There's no doubt about it. He's the guy who's given it the right push. He's the guy, like I said, who's put all the procedures and processes in place, and the credit should go to him. What I would like to say is, once you retire, once you retire from service, you generally fade into oblivion. People don't remember you anymore. So I thought this, if he had to go, I think he went in the best possible way. That's what I feel. The kind of outpouring of grief that was there on the roads of Delhi, which one got to see during. It's very, very rare, that you get to see a service officer getting that kind of a send off from the citizens of the country, and which goes to show as to how popular he was, even in the hearts of the citizens of India. And it also goes to show how popular or how much in what high regard the defense services are held in the eyes of the citizens of India. And so all this credit goes to Bipin. I think he's done a wonderful job, and he's left behind a legacy which would be difficult for the next guy to follow, whoever becomes the CDS now. Yes, certainly he'll be missed. We've always been school types. We always, in the army parlance, we call it school types. We use the word types, squadron type, family type, place type. So we were school types, and we'll always be that way. When he had become vice chief in 2016, now he was, that time, that was the time General Dalbir had taken over as the chief, and he was looking for a guy to come as his vice chief. That time, Bipin was serving in Southern Command as the GOC-in-C, that is the Army Commander Southern Command in Pune. And so he was pulled out from there and he was brought as vice chief. Now, for you guys who have not served in the army or in the defense services, as compared to an army commander, the vice chief is basically a desk job. It's confined to the corridors of South Block, and you have to interact a lot with the Ministry of Defense and the other ministries, and you are involved in procurement and modernization of the army and things like that. So, whereas as an army commander, you have a wide, huge area, and you're like a king, in that domain of yours. So, when I met him, that was the time that, when he came as vice chief, he came, I remember he took over on the 1st of September 2016 as the vice chief, and we had planned to get him as the chief guest for that year's Founders, on the 9th of September. So I had gone to his office to invite him, and so when I met him, I sort of congratulated him for becoming the vice chief, and then he tells me, sir, aapko pata hai, kya vice chief or kya army commander, I was better off as an army commander. Pata nahi mereko kyun yahan pe leke aaye South Block mein. So I told him, I said, listen, it's destiny. Yeah? There could be other things in store for you. One doesn't know. Where you just might go from here. And sure enough, a year later, he took over as the chief. So that's how it happens, whether he was in the line or not, that is besides the point. But he did take over as the chief, and I for one feel that his coming to South Block as the vice chief made all the difference, and it was good. It was good for him, and that is what destiny, has in store for all of us.
General Shakti said about the legacy. Dr. Beala, I would like to come to you. Dr. Beala, you have had a constant interaction with alumni of Cameron Hall. And tell us the legacy and inspiration that that General Rawat leaves behind for all the Cameronites, because you've interacted with him, you've met him a few times. So tell us a bit about the legacy and inspiration that he's leaving for all the Cameronites.
In any educational organization, we, especially the principal, he looks into the ex-students, whosoever has reached to a different level. Because school is basically known because of the ex-students. Whatsoever they do, we pass on that to the present generation. I still remember I had joined Cameron Hall on 1st of November 2012. I came to know first time that General Shakti Gurung is the individual who is the military secretary those days. And first time I had approached him, because the moment you get to know the gentleman has reached to this place, he has created this position, it's very easy for you to go to the children to look, why can't you look here? I requested General Shakti Gurung, and on 9th of September 2014, on our Diamond Jubilee, he was the chief guest. And when he had come with his medals on, with the uniform on, that was a different kind of, atmosphere all around amongst the children, even amongst the staff, everybody. And that year only, in November, we had elaborated function. So there, good number of our ex-students had joined in. Even Air Vice Marshal R.K. Sharma even was there that day. Few more were there. And then he was another, you see, Shakti was one role model for the children. Whatsoever I knew, I used to put across to the students. Then Air Marshal R.K. Sharma even was there, we put across there. And I still remember when General Bipin Rawat became vice, I got this news from Shakti Gurung only, General Gurung only, and we had passed on a message, congratulations. And the day he became, he was declared, decided about that he's taking over as the chief of the army staff. That day, we had a Camera Night function, third Saturday of 2019, or third Saturday of December 2000, and it was 16. So, and Shakti, General Shakti Gurung only passed on a message, told us he has been decided to become. And there only we had passed on this message to the community, ex-students, that here is the gentleman coming forward. I mean, he created another level now. So to become CDS, the first man of India to be the CDS, I think is a great feeling for all of us. Rather the ex-students even, the present students even, and the generations which are going to be there is going to be that kind of model for them even. The moment we received this message, the helicopter crashed, and even children got to know, everybody was in a very different kind of situation. Nobody could accept it. But yes, nobody can do anything. But definitely the kind of work the gentleman has done. I still remember his speech, Shakti might be remembering that, when he was addressing in 2017, when he had come as a chief guest. He said, look, please understand, join Cameron Hall to learn, and finally leave Cameron Hall to serve. And in his final word, you know what he said? The gentleman, be a thorough gentleman and serve your country. These were the lines which he had mentioned to the children even. And that strong personality will be remembered by everyone. Of course, he's a role model for the children, for Cameroonites, and he's going to be missed always. Not only by us, everybody is going to miss him. And the kind of strict discipline he had shown in his statements even, I think that was amazing. We will definitely miss him. The children are going to miss him, but definitely the legacy he has created is going to be ever there for us, for everybody, for our students, even for friends, even for everybody. But a big loss to us.
Shabnam
Thank
ma'am, Shabnam ma'am, as a classmate, you studied with him and you were fortunate to spend time with him on his visit to the school on September 9th, 2017. So tell us a little bit about that interaction and what it was like when you and other classmates met him. Was it any different to you being, or it was just your classmate, you're meeting him again after so many years?
Well, initially it was different, of course, because he's come back as a VIP, and we'd known him as a youngster at school. Of course, Kapil was there very much, and I think the 2 or 3 others from 73 batch who were there together. So he was a very, very busy man that evening, as one can expect. I think everyone around him wanted a photograph taken with him. So he had very little time for personal interaction with individual people. You know, we were all there together. But the little interaction that did happen, he did recognize me, which is a good thing. And he remembered my brother as well, so they were classmates as well, and in the boarding together. So that was nice that he did acknowledge and, on a personal level. But he was just very welcoming and very kind and generous with his time and words. And generally, I think he was just the person everyone wanted to be around, and he gave them that time. So there's very little that personally, one couldn't really have the time with him. But we really enjoyed being there together, and it was a very good evening that day. We'll miss him. It's a very sad ending, but he'll be remembered.
And maybe it was the school motto that has brought me to this position. So I dare say I owe a lot to the school. From the kukri to the motto, and to where I am today. Standing here on this podium, one tends to get nostalgic. I see some friends sitting here from those days. Norbu always won the cross country and the long distance running and the cycle races. That I do recall. To the students here, I can only say that you have entered Cayman Hall to learn, and you will finally leave Cayman Hall to serve. You enter to learn and you leave to serve.